Broadway only spans 14 blocks and 41 theaters, predominantly controlled by just 3 separate theater owners. The scarcity means supply always outweighs demand, leaving a never-ending trail of suitors constantly waiting for shows to close in order for them to move in.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to start the video off by saying I know I'm in the middle of bobamas and I'm supposed to be doing a giveaway every video this month. This video is not going to have a giveaway. This was just kind of like a spur of the moment, timely kind of video I wanted to put out, and it just feels wrong to put a giveaway on this. So I do plan on uploading a video later today or tomorrow that will have the giveaway and the winner announcement. So let's talk about Kpop the Musical. So yesterday we got the news that Kpop the Musical on Broadway will be performing its last show on December 11th, which is this coming Sunday. Now, I did get to see Kpop the Musical back mid-November. I think so I saw it, on November 16th, so it was still in previews at the time because the show premiered on the 27th, I want to say. So I saw the show, and I have been working really hard on this long video about Kpop the Musical, and it was just going to touch on all these different things, promoting the show, just talking about the history of the show, just everything possible that you could really talk about the show. With this announcement of its closure, it's definitely going to change the video a lot. I have to make a lot of edits, so I'm probably just going to refilm it all. I actually did touch on how I didn't think the show was going to last very long, and not due to it not being a good show, but because of just how Broadway is. I think if you're not familiar with Broadway, this could be a huge shock, since the show has been open for a week, and that's not uncommon. Most shows don't last years. That's very, very rare that you have those shows that just stay on Broadway forever and ever. A lot of famous shows don't last very long. So with it closing this soon, I first want to say that doesn't mean it's a bad show, because I saw it. I had a lot of fun in that show, and I think anyone I've seen talk about the show has kind of just said how much they love the show and just how fun it was. The environment created the show. It's just very fun and loving, and it was a total blast of a performance. So if you can see it in this short amount of time, you should try. As for why I think the show is closing so soon, I mean, I won't know for sure, but I can just kind of assume based on my general knowledge. For one, they could just not be making the money because they need to keep this theater. They need to pay their cast and all this stuff. So a lot of the times when the show closes, it's because they can't fund it. I know they had some cancellations during previews. I don't know if those cancellations went after, but I was one of those cancellations. I had to rebuy tickets for another day during my short trip to New York, and I remember looking into it later and seeing that they had another cancellation. So, that definitely can hurt. But the main thing that's probably causing the short run of Kpop the Musical, it's probably the New York Times review on the musical, which was not subtle. It was pretty harsh. The whole thing's a real bummer. I wanted to see the show again, but I just knew I wasn't going to. It was part of why I wanted to see it so badly in November, because I kind of knew something like this was going to happen. I mean, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it just sucks. And I wish, I could have put out this video to help promote the show and tell everyone to go see it. And it's just frustrating. And just seeing the cast members speak out about it and how bummed they are. Because I just love seeing how passionate the cast was about this musical and how you feel that passion in the musical when you're seeing it performed. I talked about this in my video, and it's just, it's sad. I don't like to see a show fail, especially something like this with how, I don't want to keep saying passionate, but they were very passionate about this project. It's very monumental. Pretty much whole cast of Korean and Asian Americans. You don't get that on Broadway. You had, 18 people having their Broadway debut, which is pretty insane. The show was just something so unlike anything I've seen on Broadway or just, on theater. And I've seen a fair amount of shows. I love musical theater. So I was one who was like really excited when this musical was announced. Like I was essentially the target audience, someone who just loves K-pop and loves Broadway. Now the show could come back someday. You never know. It might go back to off Broadway at some point. I don't know if they'll try to change the show. I've heard that the original off Broadway book was better than the changes they made for Broadway. Um, for people who don't know musical or Broadway talk, I don't really want to explain that. I do think that they should like rework the book. My biggest criticism of the show was the plot was a bit thin. It wasn't great. And looking online, a lot of people are having the same thoughts as me. Whereas like, yeah, the biggest downfall of the play musical was its plot, but the music was fantastic. Performances were fun. It was just a blast, the whole thing. So I hope the show can have a new life someday. I would go see it again. Like I said, I've been working on a video for this for like what feels like so long. So I just put like all of this like research into it and just kind of getting to know like the people who like were behind the show and the cast and I feel for them. I feel for them. Thankfully, we are supposed to be getting a cast recording in February. I believe it's February 23rd. I assume that's still going to happen. The cancellation shouldn't stop that. And they had, tweets of them recording it. So hopefully we still get that. That would be awesome. I still plan on putting out a video on this musical. I have to like restructure it completely. It just doesn't make sense to upload it in the way that it was originally kind of scripted out. So it's probably gonna be more of kind of like I don't want to say like a tribute to it, but just to explain like my experience and how like I'm happy to have gotten that experience, and then as well as saying like, oh, these were like the great parts, these are the parts that I think could have been improved, and just kind of talk about it. And maybe someday if there ever is another K-pop musical or this musical gets a revival, maybe maybe some of my thoughts can be included. I don't know. I doubt it, but it would be cool because I feel like I have some good thoughts. It's just so sad. If anyone from the show is watching this video for some reason, I just want to tell you guys that it was a fantastic show. It was one of it's like the most memorable Broadway performance I've ever had. It was just so unreal, so unlike anything I ever experienced. You have to see the show to understand, it's just not what you think, and it's so much fun. Seeing it on camera is never going to be the same as just seeing it live. Broadway shows have done pro shots, and it feels like you're getting the story, you get to experience it. This is one of those shows that no, you have to be there to really just enjoy it all and get the full Kpop the Musical experience. For those who went to the show, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but I feel like I've talked enough about this. There's really not much more to say except just how I'm bummed. But I saw this coming, and then just to kind of explain how I had a whole video I was working on that I have to scrap, start over. Thank God I'm gonna be on vacation, the next week or so, and I can really work hard on it because I want to get it out as soon as I can. But don't be surprised if that video doesn't come till next year. Thank you for watching me talk about this musical. Please let me know if you saw the musical or you wanted to see the musical. I felt so sad reading people's tweets how they had tickets for next week and now they can't go. Oh, the whole thing's just bumming me out, man. I got out of bed at 1:30 to film this because it was just stirring in my mind. But anyway, I've got to go. So have a lovely time of day wherever, whenever you are. Like I said, video coming later today to go with my bobamas monthly giveaway thing. Sorry for this random little not as cheerful video, but I just wanted to get something out because of how much I've been talking about this show, and this is timely, okay? I wanted to get this out as soon as I could, but have a lovely time of day wherever. I already said that. Mwah. Bye.